All right, here we are again, back with working with forms. This is part 4. This time we're going to take a look at adding new records. Some of us, not all of us, because, well, not all of us have the capability to do so, but some of us will have a need to add new people to the database from time to time. So we're going to take a look at how to add new records because there are some specifics on adding information into colleagues. So let's take a look at some of those particular circumstances. The first thing that you must do, absolutely must do, before you enter a new person into colleague, you do an extensive search with as much information as you have. If you have a social security number, then you do a search by social security number. If all you have is a name, then you do a search by name. Maybe you can get a name and an address. Maybe you can get a name and an email address. Maybe you can get a name and a phone number. But do a search and make sure that the person that you want to enter into colleague isn't already there. Okay? So that's number one, step number one. If you have an ID number, wow, that would be the ideal way to search and see if the person is already in there. I've seen not just students, but I've seen employees that have been entered into colleague twice. They have 2 ID numbers. And we don't want that to happen, okay? Everybody should have 1. Again, if you find somebody who's already in there and maybe they have a duplicate, you're going to call Employment Services at 1303 and let them know, all right? So when you think you found somebody that might be the person, check, and recheck. Like I said, birth date, email, phone number, other information that could be unique to that individual. All right, so I think we're done with Barbie tests. So let me go ahead and cancel all of this information out. There's the cancel all button. And that'll take us back to a fresh home screen. So I'm going to click the search button. And when you're doing a search, there are a few simple rules to keep in mind. For simple names like Fred Flintstone, those are easy. Enter the first name and last name as it appears. Okay? Well, as it appears here. So this is Fred Flintstone. I can search for Fred Flintstone. I could search by Flintstone, space Fred. Okay? Last name, first name. But you can do first name, last name. Either way will work. When adding people to the database, you should use the format first name, middle name, last name. Okay, this is when you're adding new people. First name, middle name, last name, such as Frederick Joseph Flintstone or Bernard M. Rubble. First name, middle name, last name. If you don't have a middle name, then you can just put the middle initial. Middle name not required. First and last name required fields, right? See these the red borders? That means these are required fields. Last name, first name, middle name not required. So if you enter it first name, middle name, last name, it'll put last name here, first name here, middle name here. It knows how to move around the data. If a person has a 2-part name like Joanne Spam, right? Joanne is her first name. Or Alan Von Ghost, where Von Ghost is his last name. You connect those 2 names with an underscore. If you don't, then it's going to put the first name, Joe, middle name, Ann, last name, Spam. But Ann isn't this person's middle name. Joanne is her first name. Alan is this guy's first name. Vaughn isn't his middle name. So you put Alan space Vaughn underscore Ghost, like it has down here. That way it'll keep the Von Ghost together as the last name. I'll show you. If a name is combined with capital letters, like Joanne, where it's one word, but they capitalize the A in Ann, or Van Dyke as the last name with no space, then you're going to want to precede this entry with an equal sign. So equals Joanne or equals Van Dyke. The equal sign tells colleague to enter this data in exactly as you have it typed. The equal sign won't show up, but everything after that will. All right, so I went through all the possible searches, and our new employee, Billy Bob Von Ghost, is not in the colleague database. Trust me, I looked. So we're gonna do our part to enter this new student or employee into the database. So I'm going to type the name and click the OK button, Billy Bob Von Ghost. So first name, middle name, last name, right? No special characters. I just want to demonstrate how it treats this information. So let me click the OK button. And it says the record is not found. So I click the Add button to add this person to the database. So there you go. See what it did? Ghost is the last name, Billy is the first name, and Bob Vaughn as the middle name. That's not the way it's supposed to be. That's not the way it's supposed to be. His last name is Von Ghost. So let's try do this a different way. Okay, I'm going to cancel this because I don't want it to save what I just put in there. And we're going to try entering the last name, remember with the underscore. We'll do Von underscore Ghost. So let me cancel this. And I'm going to cancel this. And we're going to start again. Okay. So this time I'm going to click in the field, put Billy Bob Von underscore Ghost. So Von Ghost should now show up as his last name, and Billy and Bob will be his first and middle name. Again, it didn't find that record. Nobody by that name already exists. So we click the Add button, and there you can see Von Ghost with the space is just the way it's supposed to be. However, we just found out that his middle name isn't Bob. Billy Bob is his first name, and it should be all one word with the Bob and the Billy both capitalized. So we have to correct that. Making that kind of correction is pretty simple. Remember to add a name exactly as typed. We want to precede it with the equal sign. So let me click in the first name field and enter equals Billy Bob, spelled exactly the way it's supposed to, and then press the Enter key. And we'll accept that change. The equal sign disappears and Billy Bob is entered into that field exactly as we typed it after the equal sign. Now we just need to get rid of the Bob because Billy Bob doesn't have a middle name and the middle name's not required, right? Just first name and last name are required. This merely shows that this is my currently selected field, right? That dark maroon border. So in order to do a delete for a field, you can't just press the delete key. You might be able to, but you shouldn't. There's a keyboard shortcut, Control-Alt-D, not Control-Alt-Delete. Hopefully you know what that does, right? We want Control-Alt-D. So let me go ahead and do that. Control-Alt-D for you. And boom, middle name is gone. Too easy. Okay, so last name with a space, you use an underscore. First name with no space and special capitalization, you use an equal sign. Maybe the last name is Van Dyke with the capital D. Then you will put the equal sign, equals Van Dyke. Okay? You got it? All right, moving on. Here are your review questions. There's no need to do an extensive search before entering a new record into the database because Colleague won't allow you to duplicate names. That's false. Colleague will allow you to duplicate names. It won't allow duplicate ID numbers, but it will allow duplicate names because you can have people with the same name. There are other David Wymans out there. There's probably other David S. Wymans out there. Maybe even other David Scott Wymans out there. And if they come here to work or to be a student, they have to be allowed to put them in using their name. They'll just have a different ID number. All right, when entering a record with two-word last name, you separate them with, if you said underscore, then you are correct. When entering non-standard text in a field, such as Joanne, you precede the text with, yep, an equal sign. I know you got that one right. All right, you're doing awesome. You're going to be great. Have faith. Don't let this stuff scare you. It's pretty easy once you get in and work with it for a little while. And I promise you're getting closer to the end of this training too. It's a bit long, but it's not so bad. Okay, so on to the next lesson. I'll see you there.